I can't believe the other video came out. I was sitting on it for so long. Anyway, this is a short part 2 where we go over Peni Parker in the year 2024, a little bit of 2025, and of course a look at her in Marvel Rivals. Let's start with the comics. In issues 8 and 9 of the Spider-Boy series, she appears alongside other Spider-Man in the Web of Life and Destiny panels. At the end of 2024, there was a new Spider-Verse story named Spider Society. And like in any other Spider-Verse story, she has a minor appearance and doesn't do anything important. This time it's extremely severe because this is her only appearance, hanging from the ceiling in the background once. She also starred in the Marvel Rivals Infinity series, but we will talk about it shortly. Stepping outside of comic books, she joined the roster of Marvel Strike Force, a role-playing mobile game where she is adapted very faithfully from the comics, complete with her iconic suit from Edge of Spider-Verse number 5. But she scares me. If I ever visit the Uncanny Valley, I'm sure this Penny is the mayor. Penny also got a card in the collectible card game Marvel Snap. Her design is based on her appearance in Marvel Rivals, and her variant cards are either inspired by the Spider-Verse movies or were taken directly from Marvel Rivals. Speaking of Marvel Rivals, she is a playable character in one of the most popular games right now, which again shows that every company knows that people love Peni Parker, except the one creating the comics. Her design isn't identical to her comic book appearances, dropping the stickers and yellow warning lines in favor of a more professional, industrial-looking suit. The mech has two big cannons mounted on the shoulders and looks significantly heavier than in the comics, replacing the delicate heeled legs with sturdier ones. Penny's outfit was also updated, giving her pigtails and longer hair. Unlike her comic book and movie versions, she is only shown in her Evangelion-esque plug suit. Her skins in the game include blue and green recolors, named after the blue tarantula and the green skimmer. Her final skin for now is Venom, which changes the suit to look almost identical to her comic counterpart, but doesn't replace Penny with Addie. Instead, updates her hairstyle to two tall braids. She is a Vanguard, which means she plays the role of a tank. Her basic attack consists of concentrated web shots from her shoulder cannons. She can run up walls and shoot webs, using Cyber Web Snare to strangle enemies or Cyber Bond to anchor herself to a specific point. She can deploy Spider Mine robots that trigger when an enemy approaches with Arachnomine, and place a turret that generates similar robots with Bionic Spider Nest. If an enemy steps on her web, nearby spiders will rush toward that enemy, and if she stands on her webs, she gets health over time. Her ultimate, Spider Sweeper, gives her extra health and lets her run while placing webs on the ground, throwing mines and attacking with two new robotic appendages that launch enemies into the air. Additionally, she has an extra ability when teamed up with Venom called Armor Expulsion, which grants her a symbiotic cocoon that damages nearby enemies and provides damage reduction. Speaking as a comic book fan, her abilities, aside from running on walls and shooting webs, are largely unrelated to her comic book origins. Penny, as far as I know, never encountered a Venom resembling the classic symbiote. Her webs have been given a cyberspace makeover and are now called cyber webs. The cannon and the two extra limbs are entirely the game's invention, and their minds are more reminiscent of Doc Ock's spider bots from his time as the superior Spider-Man. But don't get me wrong, I am not complaining. I have no problem with ignoring established canon if it results in something interesting and inventive. As of writing this video, not all of her lore has been revealed. We do know that she replaced her father after his death and that she was bitten by the spider, forming a psychic link to control the suit. But unlike her comic book counterpart, the suit is stated to be experimental and there is no reference to Oscorp, Uncle Ben or Aunt May. Other changes include that unlike in the comics, most of her attacks are web and Spider-Mine based instead of melee, and unlike the main Peni Parker, we learn her father's name, Richard Parker, aka Peter Parker's dad, making her game version a Peter variant instead of what many assume in the comics, or at least I assumed, Peter's daughter. The last part we learn in the Marvel Rivals Infinity comics, where Penny plays a pretty large role. In the story, she leads a group consisting of Doctor Strange, Hulk, Wolverine, and Venom to repair the Web of Life and Destiny through cyberspace. Not much happens plot-wise, it's essentially an exaggerated Marvel Rivals round set in the Shin Shibuya map, but it has nice action scenes and Penny is adorable as always. She also gets some bonding time with Peter, who she initially thinks is her father. Lastly, her voice actress is Sally Amaki, an American singer and voice actress, and she voices Penny both in Japanese and English. That's it for now. 2024 was easily Penny's biggest year in at least 6 years, and I can't wait to see what 2025 holds for her. There's an upcoming Spider-Verse Venomverse event in March, and we'll also be getting a physical release of the Marvel Rivals Infinity comics. While she barely appeared in the Spider Society comics, they ended with a promise to return, ideally with Penny in a more prominent role, and it is almost certain that we will get more Peni Parker in Marvel Rivals content, whether through comics, game lore, or skins. Hopefully, her popularity in the game and the next Spider-Verse movie, whenever it comes out, will push Marvel to finally produce more comics for the most interesting Spider-Person they have. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed making this video and the bigger one so much. This is the video that made me want to go on YouTube, and I am so happy that it's finally out. I plan to make another video about Peni Parker and Spider in a card game I like, but for a while these will be my only Penny videos. Anyway, please keep reading comics, feel free to tell me what you have read this week, and as always, I will see you here again next time.